Hey, Michael, XForcePC. We're going to talk about firewalls right now. If you're going to use X-Plane in a networked situation, you need to make sure that a few things are set. First of all, if you want to use like ForeFlight or you want to use Air Manager to your iPad, those all require network communication. If you're going to use multiple computers to do multiple displays for X-Plane, that requires network communication. So there's a few things that have to occur or that communication will be blocked. Number one, you want to make sure your network is set to a private network. And we also recommend you be on a wired network, not wireless, especially for external visuals, but that's a whole nother discussion. But I can go down here to my network connection in the system tray, right-click it, and open Network and Sharing Center. And right here, I can see that I'm set to a private network. So right off the bat, I'm in good shape as far as that goes. If it's set to public, what that means is it thinks I'm at Starbucks or the library, where there's a whole bunch of other computers connected to the same network. And what it does is it blocks out all communication except to the internet. And that's so someone can't, hack into my computer while I'm at Starbucks. But that's a bad thing to have this set to a public network when you're at your house, because you want to be able to talk to the other things on your network. So when you're at your house or your work, you want this to say private network. If it doesn't, you need to change it. That's a separate video, or I'll let you Google that. I'm not going to get into that right now. But just make sure you're set to a private network. If you're not, you need to change it if this says public. Now moving on, there's various firewalls out there. I can't possibly show you every firewall under the sun. I'm running ESET Smart Security, okay? And so the principles I'm going to use here are the same if you're using the Windows firewall or McAfee firewall or Kaspersky's firewall. The principles are the same, but where you'll click will be a little bit different depending on what product you have. But I happen to know that X-Plane communications are being blocked on this computer because earlier I had to actually disable the firewall to get something to work. But going around with your firewall disabled all the time is not recommended. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and fumble around and see if I can figure out how to set up the firewall so X-Plane can communicate uninhibitedly, if that's a word. I'm going to go to Setup and I'm going to go to Network Protection. That sounds like firewall. And then under Personal Firewall, I see it's enabled. So I'm going to go to the settings on that and I'm going to hit Configure. And then, let's see, under Personal Firewall, Rules. You want to set a rule up for X-Plane. So I'm going to hit Edit. And here we go. I'm going to add a rule for X-Plane. I'm going to add a firewall rule, and I'm just going to call the rule X-Plane. You can call it Rumpelstiltskin if you want. It doesn't really matter. Direction, I'm going to say both. In other words, I want to allow communication in and out, right? And not deny, I want to allow communication. Both protocols, or I'll just say any protocol. So I'm doing both directions in and out. I'm allowing any protocol to communicate. And then, let's see, I'm going to go over to local, the application. This is where we browse to find the X-Plane executable, which I happen to know is on my desktop in the X-Plane 11 folder, and I go down and I find xplane.exe. And so again, it will vary depending on what software you have. You may have McAfee or Kaspersky or Windows Firewall or whatever, but you got to go browse and find your X-Plane executable, and then I hit OK. So now I have a rule here called X-Plane. That's just the name of it. It's enabled. It allows any protocol under any profile, and it allows in both directions communication to occur. And then you can see the application path is over here. It's kind of hard to see, but it's C users owner desktop And then if you want to see the whole path, I have to kind of open this up. But anyway, this is the path to the executable, and I hit OK and OK again. So now I have a rule just for Xplane that says allow any and all communications when xplane.exe wants to communicate. And I can go back in and look and go to rules and see there's my rule, it's enabled, and so forth. You can always disable it or delete it if for some reason you needed to. So that's how to get Xplane to communicate over the network if it's being blocked by your firewall. And again, could be multiple different products blocking it, but this is the ESET Smart Security is what I have on here.